But at the end of every month, we are planning to sit down and go, okay, let's look back at last month. What did we accomplish? Let's look at our vision board or our vision goals, our goal setting. What was accomplished? What wasn't? Why? Because some things you may not accomplish, and you cannot be that hard on yourself because life be life, y'all. Hello, beautiful people and fellow wine lovers. Um, it is your hostess. Welcome to another. Whoa, boy, it's been a long time. It's been
It's
a
been a
long.
while. We gotta dust the dust our shoulders off. I
Yeah.
thought, say, what is this?
Oh, it's one of them days. Welcome back, y'all.
Hey,
We went on break. I'm really not gonna start that over. I'm not.
oh, I'm fine.
I'm not. I'm tired. So y'all know we're back. It's a little something. The number two
Yeah.
talking about with your hostess is Chevaun Camille. Hello.
And Ty Michelle.
Where sips get real and we wine while we wine. We are kicking off year 4 here in February. We would have been with y'all last week, but they
But
shut the bridge down. Like
they
there was
said I shut them down.
there was a really bad accident. Luckily, nobody died because it was horrible.
That's
Um,
good. I mean,
so
it's good that nobody died, not that they had an accident. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm pushing through.
we came to bring y'all some cheer for the new year.
Bars.
Bars. But thank you for everyone who wined with us in 2023, our season 3. We appreciate everybody who was there. I was gonna shout all the countries out who have been there, who are our top 5 at the wine out that did not happen. So stay tuned, and I will shout everybody out at the end of this episode, just because I have to like go through things on my phone to get it. And yeah,
We'll get there.
we'll get there.
We're gonna
So
he's right into this.
we're gonna ease right on in now. Second Wednesday, sis, let's wine.
Yes. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Hey. We are going to get through today the best way we can. um, Miss John, I feel like it's been forever. Miss John bunches. I feel like so much and nothing has happened at the same time. But for those who are brand new, hey, hello. For those who are our fellow whiners who've been whining with us for all of these years, hey, y'all know right now we jump right into the first segment of our show called the Popping Grapes Experience. This is where we talk about the wines we will be tasting during the episode. Generally, we pop a grape, which simply means these are the ones that we're having for the first time. In the month of February, instead of doing Black owned wines this month, because life has definitely been doing life things, we have decided to kind of revamp it in honor of love.
Yeah, for those who
Uh,
don't know, Valentine's Day is her favorite holiday.
yes, it's the only holiday outside of my birthday that I recognize for me. Christmas is for the Lord. So this one is for me. um, so yeah, in honor of the lovely month of February, we've decided to do wines that have some type of lovey-dovey theme to them in some way, shape, or form. So Sissy, let us know, what will you be drinking for your Popping Grapes experience today?
So I have a 2021 Black Muscat by Elysium, and this was related for the month because, as you can see, if you are with us on YouTube, it's got a heart on the back and a heart on the front with an arrow. So it's giving love vibes. It's giving Valentine.
It's giving Valentine's, and for those who don't know, it's giving me. That's another thing. My last name was Hart. So, I am just on February out. My daddy's birthday is the day before Valentine's Day. Like, I look like my daddy. Like, it's just on full circle. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying, don't ask why, but now you know why. Cool. So yeah, hearts. This wasn't intentional. It really wasn't fully, at least not for the show. This was half his stance. For those who don't know, my son's a singer. We'll get into that. But for my popping grapes experience, I have a wine by Only. That's not how you say that.
Olney.
Only, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, nope, there's an E in that. Only Winery. It is located in Maryland. So it's a local wine, and this is called Sweet Nothings Moscato.
Ooh.
And that's why I got it, because it says Sweet Nothings, the whole Valentine's Day thing, and however, with this massive headache that I have, I really don't want to open it because I don't want to drink it, because I don't feel like I'm gonna get the full effect of the wine. So I think I actually might hold off till the wine out, because I don't want to give a true. Y'all know we like giving true wine reviews. So with all of this and the medicines, I can't say this is a true wine review. So I might just keep it closed. But I did have all intentions of opening it like I started. Um, but anyway, so for today's episode, we just gonna kind of do 1 hour catching up. You know, new year, new me, new. Although it's February, which is fine because a lot of us have probably already fallen off
The New Year's resolutions that we made. So we're
from
on
New Year's. I don't even make resolutions no more. It's just New Year's plans.
plans.
But
I
we
did
gotta
plan for the
reset.
year. So we are gonna also just touch on planning for the future.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Um, okay, so speaking of the future, since I was talking about this whole thing, tonight was my son's senior night. He is on the wrestling team and he graduates this year. As you all know, if you've been with us, you know that I'm super excited about it and all the things. So tonight was his senior night, which is another reason why I'm on top of the cold that I'm fighting. I'm thinking this is a cold I'm claiming this is just an ordinary cold. And on top of the cold that I'm fighting, I was being the supportive, loud mother that I am. Um, at his wrestling match, it was a very, very nice send off for him. This was their last home match before regionals starts in 2 weeks. So the last time he went to regionals was in the 10th grade, and he placed, I want to say, fourth in his weight class. So I'm hoping, go higher up this time. But if not, I'm extremely proud. But that's what the heart was for, outside of the fact his last name is Hart. But the heart was
For
close.
those who cannot see her, if y'all listening to her, she's got a heart necklace on.
A heart necklace. And shout out to Amada from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because I saw her with her big hair and the hoops and the chunky necklace, and I was like, that's cute. I'm gonna do that. So it's just a whole bunch of inspo going on today. Period. Because I was long and bleach blonde at work.
Oh,
With a head scarf on. Yeah, they ain't ready. They not ready. But anyway, so that's a little bit of what has been going on in this here household. Sissy, I'm gonna grab some water. Let us what you been up to, girl? Come on.
so while she gets off the couch, that we supposed to be on the couch because that's the whole
I'm
point.
back. I see it was quick. It was quick. I had moved it. It was sitting right here, but I had moved it.
So I ended last year, like literally the 31st. I did something I've never done before. The man on the couch and I did vision board. We went online on how to do a vision board. I didn't actually make the board. So let's really say we did 2024 goal setting because the board wasn't actually made. But we went
Okay.
we went through the questions and the steps, like what do you already have, what do you want to do? We found 2 resources online that were very, very helpful. I will drop those links below if I can find them at this point. So look below on YouTube. I will drop those links to the questionnaires. And my goals for the year. So when I was looking to the future, be better, consistent and better at working out, which I did actually over the break. So I didn't work from Christmas to New Year's. So I took that week, and other than the days they were closed for the holidays, I was at the Y getting it in every day. And that carried up until 2 weeks ago because I was sick. For those who don't know, Roman, my fur baby, had a tumor on his foot. That was a thing. That was a week that I had no energy. I had nothing. So I didn't do it then. Read 4 books is one of my goals for this year. I read one. I read The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. Yeah, I could give a review. I'm going to read the second book, which is The Blood Gift. I am going to read it because I don't like leaving things unfinished. But it was an interesting read. I will say that it was an interesting read. If you read the book, let's talk about it. Leave me in the comments and let's talk about it if you read this book.
Yeah, and I'm gonna live vicariously through y'all in the comments, okay?
Yeah, I went on Goodreads a little before I was done with it. Well, no. 2 chapters in, I went on Goodreads, and then halfway through, I went back on Goodreads, and then near the end, and I did write my review on Goodreads because I was like, I said I can't be the only one thinking what I'm thinking and looking at this way that I'm looking at. And I was not disappointed. It's minimal, but yeah. Okay. So anyway, 44 books. Date this year was on my list. For those who do not know, there's a Jane Austen quote that at a certain point a man is in want of a wife. I am not a man. I'm not in want of a wife, but I am in want of a family. And so I have come to finally accept that the dude for me is not gonna break in my house and propose.
Well, wonderful. I am so glad to hear that.
That I'm gonna actually have to get out in these trash, piss poor streets and toilets and find somebody. And I think I may have. Thank you, Lord. Amen. Because that would mean I wasn't here long. And
he wasn't here long. You know, a little bit, just a step of,
And speaking of, my other goal for the year, one of them was to get closer to the Lord. So I did finally join the church that I've been attending for like the 2 years. And then plus, if you think about where it came from, I made a pledge to go to church every first Sunday. It's far, y'all. I can't do every Sunday. They understand. So y'all gonna have to understand too. Every first Sunday. I did go last 4th Sunday. I'm working on the website. You know, I'm an active member in the church, y'all. I can't sit around and do nothing. I'm not one of the few members that just sits. If I'm not in a ministry or at least doing some type of something, because I'm not officially on a ministry, but I'm doing what I'm doing. So that's me. So those have been my big thing of what's going on. So that's the gym, that's reading, that's dating, that's the Lord. Oh, and my 5th thing is learning Portuguese, y'all. I am learning.
Oh, you going back? Okay.
I'm going back. Decided to dedicate. The problem I realized that I could not learn languages because I was trying to learn like 2 or 3 at the same time. And because they are all Romance languages, for those who don't know, I already speak Spanish proficiently. And I had learned Italian in college, but if you don't use it, you lose it. And so I was trying to get that back. And then I was also trying to learn Portuguese on top of that. And then I like tried to dabble in French on top of that. And I just couldn't. My mind
her brain was saying, baby, you doing too much.
You doing way too much.
You doing too much. Like, hold on. I know we can do a lot, but
they are too close and related. And I would start off in Italian and end up in Portuguese and start and end up no. Especially Portuguese and Italian, they're really, really close. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna put everything away. And I'm gonna spend a year to focus on Portuguese and at least get to an intermediate to advanced level in 12 months is the goal. So
okay. No, that's good. That actually kind of like brings into one of mine. my goals this year. So, you know, at work, we got to do objectives. So, girl, I came to my boss. I was like, I've been working on my objectives since November. Boom, here you go. And so, to the point where when she saw them, we would review them, and she was like, where did you get this wording from? Because I'm trying to think. I said, well, let me tell you what I had been doing. So for those who don't know, I had took off the week of my birthday. My husband and I, for my birthday, our anniversary, we went to Vegas. I hadn't been back to work, and then my company actually closes after Christmas until the new year. So wonderful. Um,
I miss those
so
days.
during that time off, I started thinking about, like I said, I'd already did my objectives, but I started thinking about where I want to be in the next 2 years within this company. And I had talked to my boss. I had talked to her a few times prior, but just thinking about it. But I know for me, some development that needs to happen. Um, Part of that is being able to demonstrate my vocabulary that I have, because I have a vocabulary, I just don't use it. So actually putting that to use, at least on my professional level. Personally, that's whatever. But on my professional, like using the skills that I already have and actually like honing in on them, mastering them, and demonstrating them. So that's one of my objectives, just at work, but also just in general. But I was listening to one of my favorite podcasters, and she brought up this book that her and her book club is reading. It's called the 12 week year. And I was like, that sounds fun. So I was like, okay. So I actually bought the book. Like, she talked about it briefly, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. So I bought the book, and I'm currently on chapter 5. But I make it a point to read at least 2 to 3 pages every morning before I start like my job. Like, I go in, sit down, I read the chapters, and what I've noticed is it's kind of giving me like motivation to like, okay, do it. So I came up with my whole phrase in the planning for what's coming, and it's, for lack of better words, my phrase is get it done. Like,
My life,
just get it done. Keep it simple and get it done. You know, I know, I think I heard her say hers was execution, which is ultimately the same thing, but I don't want to be no copycat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a copycat, but it is get it done. And mine is get it done because the spirit of procrastination lingers sometimes on this here woman. It be like, ooh, girl, you can do it, but later. Okay? Girl, you got time. And then when deadlines come, I'll be like, oh crap, because now I got like 7 things that I have to do. So that book has been helping me to, one, it's been motivating me to just get things done. Do it now. Why wait? Do it now. So that's one. The other thing is I have invested in a few apps that helps you to increase your vocabulary, like making words and puzzles, because I'm a puzzle person. That's part of my dyslexia. But I do enjoy puzzles. So putting words together, making words, seeing that has been helping to increase my vocabulary, bring up some words that I forgot about. And using, so I've just been doing like a whole lot of professional development. And that's my goal for this year, is to really invest in my professional development. That's one. I have 3. That's the other part that I love about reading this book. It has helped me to hone down on not having so many goals. Like, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do that. But okay, that's fine, but how are you going to get there, And we can get overwhelmed thinking about all of that. Like, just the book it's a cool read. So I was just like, you know what? Okay, it helps me kind of, like I said, home in and focus. So I only have 3 for this year, and one is really to focus on my professional development. That is really, really what I want to do, and I am going to take all steps that I need to for that. And I'm actually kind of proud of myself. I've got a lot of projects done already. Some things are beyond my control. And that brings me to goal number 2, relinquishing control. I got OCD. Who? Who?
I got only child syndrome, so listen.
I got
That
OCDs. You got only child syndrome. I got oldest child syndrome. So that's added to my OCD. But also, life has put me in that place with my son, who's now a senior, where I have already been kind of like training him up so he can make his own decisions. Now it's really like,
Mhm.
especially come May 23rd, when he walks across that stage, it's really going to be not like let you go whoop, but you gotta do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got, and being okay with that. And for me, that's the part that I have to work on, because I'm easy to say, oh, you gotta do it. But the control freak, also the mama and the nurturer in me, goes, well, hold on, you're not gonna do it that way. But learning to relinquish that, are you asking me for advice? Because I'm not just going to like insert myself. So that's probably going to be my most challenging goal this year. But my goal is to get better at it. They say it's always hardest with your first child. But I also feel like it's hardest when you're in a blended family and that's your only, like, that's your bloodline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be better for it, and he's gonna be better for it, and we're gonna grow together in that. So, who, and the third one is to become closer to this thing I have, this man I have tied myself to. And it will be 10 years next year, so we will be celebrating our 10 year. We have definitely been through a lot. Yeah, yeah, 10. We have been through a lot.
Here, that's this year.
That's what I'm saying. But at the end of this year,
Oh, you said next year. I was like,
I'm sorry, at the end of this year,
yeah,
it's 10.
yeah.
So with within the next couple months, we'll have 2 children out of school. So we're vastly approaching the point where we are going to be empty nesters.
Yes.
Yes. So what I don't want to happen is for us to not have a connection outside of the children. Not that I think that is going to be an issue, but to prevent it from becoming an issue, there's that. So that means working on some things, spending time, even changing some habits, trying to change some trains of thoughts within myself. Not even for him. This is just for me. And just getting closer to him in a certain way, where I don't know, it just makes us better. He's always going to be the asshole that makes my eye twitch in some way, shape, or form. But it has been 10 years, and this 10 years kind of went by fast. So the next 10, by our next 10-year anniversary, hopefully we're not grandparents. Because Carson will be 18.
So bad though.
Huh?
That may not be bad.
No, I'm just saying, hopefully we're not grandparents.
But I'm saying in 10 years, if you were grandparents, that wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing. Because the old with either one of the two oldest, you got 18-year-old, they'd be 28 and 29.
Yeah.
That's not terrible. What? That's
No, 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 no. I'm not saying it's terrible, but that's why I said hopefully. I'm not saying we wouldn't welcome it at the halfway
if
point.
together, especially the man got it together, especially since he been with chick, or if he keeps the girlfriend by the time they're 26.
First of
So
all, let me say about this little boy. Let me say about this. Because I know who my son is to a certain extent for certain things. If this Bama within the next 3 years is still with her and he has his stuff together where he feels he can support, they could be married.
that's what I'm saying.
So
they'll be like, what was that, 21? So a kid by 25, 24, it's not, and they'll be, I would hope that, knowing what I know about both of them, they will both wait till they're at least graduated from whatever
right,
higher
whatever profession, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, but that's like, but I say all that to say, getting closer to this wonderful blessing from the Lord that I have chosen to tie myself to. And then I guess just kind of learning, because I know he swears up and down that he hasn't changed. He has. There has been some changes. There still needs to be some changes, but I'm gonna let him come up with that conclusion. That's not for me. So just focus on me being there for who he currently is right now. So just, I guess it's just a whole lot of development for me in those areas. And we did not make it out of the hellhole of this here apartment.
That's my other goal, is to move out, but that's another.
So let's see. Let me tell y'all, economy. I heard the other day somebody say the economy isn't that bad. Nigga, what? What's not that bad? They are charging $2,500 for an efficiency.
Gas is $3.17. When I graduated high school, it was $1.98.
What? I went to Target and bought soap, like soap body wash, lotion, edge control, paper towels, a brush. You was on the phone with me, sissy, and some oil, and spent $175. What economy are y'all in that is doing well? What? Let me tell y'all something. I just did my hot doggy taxes.
I haven't done them yet. Nah, I haven't done them yet. I haven't done them yet because I can't even afford to do them yet. Like that's the real deal. I can't even pay to get my taxes done right now.
The refund that I am receiving is not going to pay off a credit card. Okay? Mm. And that is with 3 children.
I don't have any children, so I'm
claimed
about to get hit with
so let me tell y'all what y'all won't do in 2024 is come out here and start lying to us, and then we delusional. What?
Inflation is real, and I need people to stop pretending that it's not. Like, and plus, what I really want people to stop doing is acting like the prices are going to drop back down. Do y'all realize the prices are really not going to drop like that? They're not going to drop. What's going to happen? People keep saying inflation is slowing, but it's not receding. It's not going backwards. We will never go backwards. Remember when your parents used to tell you, oh, back in my day, gas was 25 cents? Did we ever see 25 cent gas?
I ain't never seen a 25-cent gas price in my lifetime, and I'm almost 40.
So when I tell y'all, we will never see 198 gas again. You will be lucky if you see $2.50 again. You're not going to see it.
Y'all need to stop playing games out here.
Yeah.
Y'all need to stop playing games out here. Like what economy y'all in? Like, I want to be there with y'all. Like, for real. Like, I need to be there with you. Let me tell y'all, the economy's so bad right now. My husband plays bingo.
My Lord.
You know how they got the little games? They be like, oh, you can win. This is that, the other, blah, blah. That Bama, he was like, okay, baby, should I try it? I said, hey, what the hell do I not try it? At this point, only thing that can happen is we don't get shit and we still in the same place. Right? He tries it. This joint said, first of all, he made him pay like two extra charges, like $7, $8 charges to even get the quote unquote money. And then they put him in line. That joint was like, you are in 105 millionth place to receive. I was like, now he did this at the beginning of January. I asked him the other day, baby, did you, what's your number look like? It ain't moved.
Oh.
Said, to put you in a closer place, just pay $11.99.
That's how they get their money to give other people money.
I was like, see, that's the crap. That's the crap. That's the crap right there. While all these TikTokers out here talking about something, oh, play the bingo, and this is what you lying.
They lying.
You lying. You ain't got no $92,000 for playing bingo. Shit. Y'all, it's crazy out here. Like, for real, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, all right, one quick question before we get out of here, Sissy. I know you said you went on to the websites and all that stuff. You want to put the links below. What made you think about, like, how did you hone in on any of your goals?
I think the first thing that you have to ask yourself is the first thing I ask myself is, what did I really want? So I think if you really want to set goals, you have to ask yourself, what is it that you really want? And this is the biggest thing I think for a lot of people these days. You have to be realistic.
That part.
I could sit here. Being a polyglot is a goal of mine. But I would, if I sat here and was like, 2024, I'm gonna learn Portuguese and Dutch and German and Chinese. The devil is a liar. Okay, like, like, no, you're not. No, you're not. With what time? Like, with what time? I think that's the other thing. If you are a working adult, and if you are on it watching this thing here, more than likely working adult, because we drink wine. I hope you legally drink wine. So you at least 21. I hope. I don't know. 19 if you in Canada, 18 if you in the rest of the world. But if you in the US, 21. Everybody else, welcome. You have to set goals that are realistic for the schedule that you have. And I think for me, it was, okay, what are the goals that I want to accomplish and how can I do this? Because the chart that I filled out, or the questionnaire, was like, it asked very targeted questions that were like, what do you want? How can you achieve that? And then it was up to you to try your short-term goals and your long-term goals. So my long-term is to learn Portuguese. Great. To stay in better shape. Great. So for me, it was like, well, how do you make it happen? Right. That how is as important, if not more important, than the what do you want? So I have on my wall a weekly schedule that literally says body pump, this to this on Monday. This time to this time is Portuguese. This time to this time is reading. Tuesday, this to this is the gym. I figured out what are my top, like you, 3. I also think you have to set an amount that's attainable. You don't walk into the year with 25 goals. Okay. Oh, 3 to 5, man, 3 to 5. Like, and some things you may find may be related. Like, one of my goals is also to figure out how to make 100,000 by myself, like without anybody else's income. But that's a secondary goal for this year. Like, I did get my promotion, y'all, so salary went up, yay for me. But that's a secondary, right? Like, great if it happens, but it's not in my top 5. You can prioritize. You cannot give the same weight to everything. So my biggest 5, which are the ones I listed for your wall, I figured out what they were based also on category. Because one of the things that I had, one of the sheets asked as far as, okay, when it comes to health, what do you want? When it comes to professional, what do you want? When it comes to personal relationships, what do you want? And I think that helped me because I was like, okay, I can focus on the total. I know personally, I want to learn another language. So let me do Portuguese. I know that on health, I want to be healthier. Let me make sure the gym is involved. I also was like, what is it you enjoy? I want to get back into reading because I know me in a dance class right now is just not realistic. I'm not paying for that. I'm just not.
I don't have the time.
I don't have the time or the money, to be real. So, okay. What do I want in personal relationships? Well, I have all my friends, y'all. No new friends. Okay. I'm good. Um, but I would like a man here. You know what I'm saying? I would like to have family. So I'm gonna have to bite that bullet. You also then, to that point of biting that bullet and getting in this trashy piss poor pool of dating, um, is figuring out what you're willing to do realistically and what you need to, the steps you need to take, the work you need to put in to attain your goal. And so for me, I guess that was way a whole lot more than the question you asked me, but it's all
No,
related.
it's fine. I mean, you know, as we do our rants, and one thing goes to another, one thing goes to another, to another, to another.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
no, but that, I mean, that does leave my fourth ish kind of like honorable mention goal is to cultivate my sister relationships. Um, we are the type of sisters who we do not have to talk for months. It is what it is.
yep.
However, sometimes I do find myself like, I probably should reach out to my sister. And in those moments, actually doing it. So
Yeah.
again, it's just go ahead and do it, but also like going back to cultivating those relationships again. We all know life be life, and most of us have children. Nieces and nephews take a whole lot, you know, and that in itself sometimes can get overbearing too, you know, when you get so close to everybody. Everybody's birthdays around the same time. Everybody's this is that. So, but being realistic and just check if nothing else, checking in on my sisters a bit more, just to say, hey, what you doing, girl?
Yeah.
What's up? That's my honorable mention goal. Uh, because we've talked about this before, right here on this podcast, you gotta have your girl tribe. So I'm trying to take my own advice and just reach back out to my girl tribe and just be like, hey y'all, like, what's up? Like, how you been? Just checking in on you. Um, yeah. So that's an honorable one. But yeah, no, absolutely. And that's one of the things I can appreciate about that book. I do have another book that I want to read. And I'm actually kind of proud of myself because y'all, if y'all don't know, who read what said who?
And to
And
that
I
point,
mean, like,
but I think that's an important thing. I would encourage everybody, if you're not a reader, to read at least 2 books this year. I would really say 4. I know for me, I did 4, and I guess I'm not trying to tell everybody get on me, but I'm saying like get like me. But you have 4 seasons this month. I mean this year. Woo. You have 4 seasons in a year. You can literally pick a book a season, and it doesn't have to be long. It can be a quick
yeah, the book.
self-help book, study guide, something like that. It counts. I think there's so much that's lost in not reading. I think whether you read fantasy, whether you read sci-fi, whether you read self-help, whether you read nonfiction, whatever, whether you read poetry, to get out of your own head and get out of your ego, or put that aside, or put yourself in the relation of this character if you read fiction, or to your point about the 12, the 12 weeks in a year, helping yourself. There is something therapeutic and holistic about that. Like, it's
Yeah, and
really important.
yeah, and I'm finding out for me, I am a self-help book reader. I am that person. One, because I'm an overthinker. I just am. I can't help it. Like, y'all have seen me, okay?
All
Y'all
the
know how
background
my
shit.
brain goes this way and that way. So those books encourage me, like motivate me to, oh, okay. It helps me to stay focused. Um, so I think I'm more of my self-help workbook, like how to do something. I'm not the well, it's me sappy. I'm the no. Just I just need to know how to have my brain focus. Okay, just help me have my brain focus. So that. I think that's my genre of things. But I also learned, because last year I did finish a book, but it was audio. Now, granted, I did have the book, the actual book as well. Like it's highlighted and everything. But that was it was like mandatory for work. My boss gave it to me. But while I was doing that, I did learn a lot from that. So when I heard about this book, I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see. I like planning and organizing anyway, so maybe this will help me in that area too. Um, so for me, that's why I realized that's probably your area. That's your book area. But it has to really be something that you want to read. Like it's something that you want to do. So I promised myself to do two this year. If I do more, fine. But my goal is to do two. I'm halfway
But I
through.
think that makes sense. I think that makes sense if you're doing self-help books to do too. I guess I say it because my genre of choice is fantasy, and it always
Right.
is. I read for escapism. Like I don't want to be here. I don't want to think about the woes of the world. Give me
I don't want to go there.
no. Give me a hero that is in the middle of some
hero.
Oh my god, that is in the middle of like some distant planet trying to fight aliens or trying to do something. Somebody playing dragons. Somebody that's on a quest. Like the whole Harry Potter situation. I wasn't a fan of Lord of the Rings. I didn't like how it was written. It was too slow for me. Sorry, y'all. I tried to read it when I was 12. I couldn't do it. But I've always been a fan of fantasy. So I guess for me, yeah, 2 to 4 books, depending on what your genre of choice is. Because I could see like doing 4 self-help books in a year.
Oh my god! First of all,
that might be a lot.
You're doing too much.
You might not, because you're not gonna really have time.
You're not helping yourself,
yeah.
Right? Like you're not helping yourself at this point. You're just running through books, but are you really taking the time to like digest the information, like like really work on whatever the self-helping item is that you're looking to change or develop, or what I'm saying? Like, are you really doing the work to go along with it? Right. Or are you just reading these to say, oh yeah, I read 17 self-help books, but you're still the same shitty person that you were.
Right. You read, but you didn't apply. And especially with self-help, I think because it takes time to change a habit.
Yes.
Or a mentality. Yes. That you cannot do that in a season. You might need a half a year, if not a whole year.
It's like therapy.
It is.
It's like therapy. And I think that might be the other reason, because right now the girl can't afford therapy. So with the good Lord, some prayer and reading, I believe it can be done. Now, when the good Lord decides, baby, I need you to go talk to someone, then he will supply that and I'll be okay with it at that point. But until then, I am intelligent enough to work through. I think I've become intelligent and more aware of myself enough to work through certain things. Not everything, but certain things. And when I get to the point, maybe I do need to talk to someone, then, God provides. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's it, though. I think the big thing about anything that you're planning for the future, you have to be self-aware of the present. Self-awareness to me is the foundation, because if you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's like,
but can you? Like, no, but like you said, being realistic, like, can you though? Like, can you? Like, I have a goal for the 10-year anniversary trip ceremony thing. I have a weight goal for that. And I was doing good until about 2 weeks ago. Okay. When the stressors of life hit, that workout said shit. Just saying. But realistically, what does that look like? And I had to go back and evaluate, like, it's not that I can't, but how can you? And how can you realistically and then accomplish this? Because I mean, granted, right now, technically, you still have 11 months to get there. So you have time. Now let's do it. Execution. Let's move. Excuse me. That's the next thing. So maybe I do have 5. Well, 4.5.
I think it's about priority. My 5 are all on the same level of priority. And then I have other things off of that.
Right, yeah. Like the 3 that I told are my top. The weight It's probably going to be the fourth, and then the cultivating my sister relationship will be the fifth. And I say the wait to be the fourth because y'all, I gotta go to the doctor.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not gonna lie. A couple years ago, I'm starting my OB. A couple years ago, when I went, I did get some news, and I was like, no. And I immediately went into action. Like immediately, it was like, oh no. But I've fallen off, not completely, but I have fallen off. And because I recognize that it's a self-check thing, but also like fear, but also you got to get over this type thing too. Like, so y'all pray for me, okay? Pray that I pick up the phone and make the appointment. That's one, okay? Then pray that I am receptive to the information where I can make lifestyle changes if needed, okay? Just step by step, like just step by step. But that, like you said, prioritizing and realizing, like, what can you realistically do? Well, what can I realistically do? I can eat right. Even if I don't exercise, I can practice good eating habits, which for me, they aren't really that bad. I just have to stop snacking after 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so I feel like for me, I guess my last word on it would be what I said before. And it goes back to what we learned in school, that the questions you need to ask yourself: who, what, where, when, and how. You need to ask yourself when you are setting goals for your life and your future. The who is already answered because that's probably you that we talked about.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. The what of what do you want to do? But then you need to change the order to how am I going to do that? And when am I going to do that? When gives you your priority? Because it may be, I need to do this in a month. Hands down. It may, but this over here, this do that one. But no, this one is, set your priorities. Um, and
And
that's
I'm
it.
add one more to that. Why?
And the why, yeah. But
One,
I think that comes with self-awareness.
it does, but we are emotional creatures, not just women, men. I'm speaking to about all of us. We are emotional creatures, and even with us knowing the who, the when, the what, the how, and all of that, we can know all of that and have the plan. But if your why, like, eventually you're gonna, why am I doing all this?
Yeah.
Like, what? Why am I doing this? Keep it just to have a why and to keep it in mind. My next self-help book is actually on motivation, like truly identifying your motivations. Um, because that's the area I struggle with. Like, what is motivating me, and why does this, like, why am I this way in reference to certain things? But yeah, I think it is important to know the why, and just as a reminder, because that why kind of gets you back to the who, what, when, where, how. Like,
And to that, the where of that, as far as the reminders, I think I did not actually make the vision board. I'm still in the process of figuring out how to visually do that. But I wrote it down in a notebook. So the where is in this notebook. Like, where is your reminder?
mm-hmm.
Where is your if you need them, where's your accountability buddy? Like, who and where is your accountability buddy? That's why the man on the couch and I did this together to hold each other accountable. Like, once tonight, you guys, y'all will see this later, but at the end of every month, we are planning to sit down and go, okay, let's look back at last month. What did we accomplish? Let's look at our vision board or our vision goals, our goal setting. What was accomplished? What wasn't? Why? Because some things you may not accomplish, and you cannot be that hard on yourself because life be life, y'all. I took off from the gym for a week because I was sick. Roman had a tumor shot injection, so his foot was a mess for 10 days. Like, I just couldn't. You may have children that it's like they're sick or their grades, and if you are a responsible parent, you put children first. You are going to put you on the back burner and make sure the kids that you brought into this world that didn't have to be here are straight and taken care of. You may have had a goal, and then You broke your ankle like the man on the couch. And so now some things are in question. Yeah, he broke his ankle like a week ago. Um, and then, or maybe your job, you had a whole plan for what you were gonna do. You were gonna get a therapist. You were gonna go, you were gonna put in the work. You lost your job cut your hours, your pay went down. So now you cannot afford therapy. That doesn't mean you still can't do the self-help books or whatever. You also gotta be able to pivot, y'all know. You know we talk about the pivot. But you have to, I think, still keep that.
Yeah, and that's one of the. I got excited because that's one of the things that I was literally talking to the husband about, just in reference to the kids, celebrating your small victories. Um, the husband and I both have been coaches, and I was talking about how our celebrating small victories are different. When it comes to coaching. He is the celebrate small victories, more of your okay, good job, but let's talk about what you did wrong immediately. I am I'm gonna celebrate your small victories and we can talk about what you did at the next practice, or we can wait depending on who the athlete is. Like if it's my child, I'm gonna celebrate you right now. And when we go home, we might be eating dinner, we might be talking about something else, and then we can talk about where improvements need to be made. Neither of them are wrong. It's just sometimes, which is what I was telling him, the approach to one may be more appropriate than the other, depending on also the child, the environment, and everything like that. And we was just kind of talking about it, not arguing, which I felt like that was growth for us. Yay. It didn't turn into argument, but it was literally just a saying or recognizing each other's differences, but also pointing out how we felt that difference, where the downside to either of those differences could be. And being like, I can see that, but it's not changing either of us. But we could see it.
But it raises your awareness.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no matter what, my last point is yes, knowing all of that is great, but also taking the time to celebrate those small victories, those small wins. Like she said, when they sit down and they talk about, what happened last month, maybe the ultimate goal didn't get hit, but I didn't revert back to, or I avoided this, or this didn't happen, or I did do this. Well, I wasn't able to get there, but I did get there. You're still closer. Yeah. So taking the time to celebrate, like embrace that, and use that as motivation to go to the next step, the next level, and to keep you going. So yeah, so that's all I got. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will say cheers to that. Okay, Sister Joe, let us know what your wine review is on your heart wine, because I don't know what it's called.
So this beautiful bottle that is hearted with love is a 2021 Black Muscat by Elysium out of California. It says real quick on the back that in Greek mythology, Elysium is paradise. Provocative, dark, and rose and dark fruit aromas resonate from the Black Muscat grape. For those who don't remember, Muscat is a cousin of Moscato. Elysium taste of sweet, ripe red berries, balanced with perfect fruity acidity to finish clean. Pairs blissfully with blue cheeses, creams, especially vanilla, red fruit custards, and puddings, as well as chocolate. You can mix this with club soda, tonic water, or sparkling wine for a refreshing warm weather wine spritzer. They also tell you if you want recipes to visit their
website.
And actually the name of this is Quadi Winery. So it's by Quadi Winery, but the name of the wine is the Elysium Black Muscat. So the Paradise Black Muscat. This is also 15% ABV.
Oh.
It's a dessert wine.
Okay.
And
When I heard vanilla and chocolate, I was like, oh, that's a dessert wine. And
when I tasted it, I said it's a dessert wine because it's sweet. But it's sweet but heavier.
okay.
It has like because of the dark berry. So when I taste, that's why I picked up the bottle. If y'all were watching, I was like, because yes, it's a dessert wine. It is sweet, but it's a little heavier than a lot of the sweet wines. Dessert wines to me tend to be lighter. This, and maybe that's just my palate, but this is So it's a sweet. There was a sweet dessert wine, heavier on the palate, medium acidity to me. It's not really there. Low on the acidity, I would say. I'm not a sommelier, y'all. So take this with a grain of take this with a whole package.
We are not experts.
I'm just telling you my taste.
We are wine enthusiasts.
We are wine enthusiasts and wine lovers, like y'all. I think this would be good with everything that they listed. I also think in the season of Roman,
some chocolate colored strawberries.
That this is good if you're doing that. If you're going to have a decadent night, like if you are one of those people that your significant other is into the extravagant, the luxury, like it tastes like come with me to a scene, you all. Come with me to a scene.
Oh.
It tastes like velvet drape on the bed, heavy, warm colored, a deep plum, a deep chocolate, or a black with a sprinkle of red rose petals around, just a tad. While you hear the water running in the back in the hot tub, when you know it's a bubble bath, it gives luxury. Like it does. It gives luxury, warmness, a warm blanket. It's very velvety. It's so
what's your rating?
I'm going to save my rating.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna do that this year because we taste them all together, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to save my actual rating for the wine out. So tune in, y'all, end of February, the 24th at 3 p.m. ish on YouTube or Instagram at a little something, the number 2, wine about. And I will give my wine rating there. But I'm just gonna tell y'all about the wine.
So. Okay, so yeah, it's just talking about the company on the back. We're not even talking about it. This is. I'm looking for the APV. That's not listed.
Just drink it, y'all. Just
they said. Here you go.
I mean, they said sweet nothing.
That's what they said.
So they're gonna give you nothing.
It's gonna give us nothing as far as alcohol content. That's what it said. It don't say alcohol free, so it's alcohol in it. I can tell you that much. And that's all I got. Because I ain't opened it. So there have it. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us, and welcome back. We will be here each and every week. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful episode. Let us know in the comments below. Also, what are some of your notes? Like big ones, small ones, mediums, ones you kind of tucked away to the side. If you hit it, you really don't care about. Like, let us know all that stuff in the comments. What do you want your 2024 to look like? Be sure to join us each and every Wednesday right here on YouTube. Or you can follow us at ALSW2WA on Instagram. This has been your hostess, Ty Michelle.
And Chevaun Camille.
And remember, as always,
there's nothing wrong with a little wine.
Or lies. Cheers.
Next week.
Toodles. Bye.